let's go back and have an open public inquest on everything that has happened before. Because sometimes things happen, and when it's an opportune time, they are misused for political purposes. The three of us who are standing before you here have served as cabinet ministers before, and the Honorable Condolences Musyoka has served as vice president. We need to be true to our responsibilities and come forward and speak to the public and share the information that we have, so that these things are not used for politics. The idea that keeps ringing at the back of my mind is the advice I used to get from some of my very respected and adored security leaders. Don't politicize security matters. That when it comes to security, let everything be done professionally and openly in the manner in which it ought to be done. I personally don't think that we should confine what we are dealing with in terms of extrajudicial killings and so on to 2023, 2024, and 2025. Let us go back and let those issues be looked into, all of them. And I propose in an open public inquest, so that everybody, because all of us, the Honorable Wamalwa and myself, have served before on the National Security Council. We need to go before a magistrate or a judge in an open public inquest and put the facts we have there and put the information we have, and other role players also put the information they have. Because if we want to move forward, I don't think we have a future in this country without truthfulness and without focusing on what we need to do for our people. Because this cutting of corners, sometimes when something happens, we always throw in politics, we blame others and so on and so forth. And then tomorrow, we behave as if nothing happened. Then next year will come, we have another situation like this. Let's be open and transparent. Let's all go forward. And I want to ask all my colleagues, because we can't ask accountability of others when we are not accountable ourselves. Let us go and explain some of these things that have happened even before 2023, so that we can now move forward together as a country when all facts and everything has been heard and resolved. And we can deal with the unresolved matters that have not been conclusively investigated. Whether we start with Musanfo, we come to Juma, we come to Kenei, we come to R.Yalla, and everything else. Let these things be investigated by an open public inquest, so that this is not the trend embele. We explain and face the public on these issues, because some of these issues are raised and we keep this merry-go-round, where we are always telling stories only when they are convenient and so on. It should come to an end, because a country of our size, our age, should never go through this kind of thing. So I ask my colleagues that now let us be true to the course that we are following. Let this thing be dealt with publicly, and I pray we should never have a recurrence of this. So we should spend the time now asking the question, how are we going to stop another recurrence of this? Finally, Your Excellency and my brothers who are here, Senator Onyonka and the others, it's a fact, and what I'm about to say may sound insensitive, but this is the truth. When you wake up in the morning, when you saw the things you saw yesterday, how can you assume that we don't have a problem in the country? Tuko na shida. And the sooner we all accepted that we have a problem, the better. Tuko na shida, let us find solutions to this. Going around and assuming that everything is fine and dandy. And then now we spend time, managing government by blogging. It cannot work like that. We cannot have government by blogging. Let's focus on the issues that we need to deal with. Let us address the lives of our people. And this issue should be investigated. When this matter happened on the 25th of June last year, we ought to have had an open public inquest into this. It will have given the Gen Z an opportunity to express themselves. We should have answered the question that time, how did we get here? Parliament is 2 kilometers from State House. For the first time since 1962, Parliament was overrun. What happened? How did we get here? Who knew what? And why didn't we prevent it? Why were we so insensitive to the point that citizens had to get to that particular point and things had to go south in the manner in which they did? So, finally, we have swept too much under the carpet. It's now time to lift that carpet and be truthful in the way in which we deal with the country. Thank you.
Any questions? For me, I want to make a very special request to President William Ruto. You've grown up in this country, you're a young president. You have seen your people. I would like him to send, the way he sent Murkomen to go and look at the shops in CBD. Let him come and see the kids who have got wounds, who've been shot, who are in bed in this place. And I want to say this, if there is no justice, there will never be peace in this country. If there is no justice, Kenya will never be anything. So let the president decide whether he wants to be a statesman or a local village boy who has got power and money. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What is your problem? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yaliendelea kwa nchi yetu jana tarehe 25 mwezi Juni, Agency Day. Ni wazi kwamba Wakenya wengi waliumia. Na habari pia kwa wale ambao wameuawa nchini kote, na bado tunazidi kupata habari, lakini jambo la kwanza ni kushukuru Mwenyezi Mungu na pia hospitali ya Kenyatta National Hospital na vile vile wenzetu wa Kenya Red Cross. Wengi waliletwa huko na Red Cross na wananchi wenyewe kujaribu kusaidiana. Hata kuna picha moja ambayo inaonyesha sura nzuri sana, ingawaji katika maumivu, askari polisi mama moja akisaidiwa na GNC kuonyesha roho ya utu ya vijana wetu. Na kwa hivyo sisi tuko hapa leo na wenzetu hawa kusema pole kwa wote ambao ni waathirika, na bado kuhimiza kwamba ni haki ya kila mwananchi ya kikatiba kufanya maandamano, asipokuwa mwananchi yoyote bora asiwe na silaha. Na vijana wengi hawakuwa na silaha, na wazi sisi wengine tulikuwa kule tukafanya maandamano, hatukuwa na silaha, tulikuwa tunabeba tu bendera, na ili kueleza kwa vijana wote Kenya hii kwamba ni haki yao. Ilikuwa ni siku yao, lakini sisi tuliona ni vizuri at least kuheshimu hao vijana kwa kuweka maua on Parliament Road, raise a wire everywhere. And this is not a country we had all hoped to belong to as a nation. So we must continue to call out excessive brutality by the police force na wale ambao ni commander in these matters, but because the issue of hierarchy of command is absolutely critical for purposes of what we have set up as opposition, the peoples of opposition. We have set up the Restorative Justice Commission. It's as if we knew this was going to happen. Of course, it will be now cumulative from 2023, 2024, now 2025. We saw Rex Masai's mom and Kennedy Odhiambo's mom in the company of former Chief Justice wakipigwa tear gas, and all they are trying to do is to remember their son, their two children. So the nation is united in fury against a very uncaring administration. This news has hit international headlines, as we all know, everywhere. Deutsche Welle, CNN, and of course, we were able to say no to even doing injustice of aggressing against the freedom of the media and freedom of the press. And we congratulate Justice Mweta on behalf of the judiciary for very quickly giving out orders that you cannot close down this country, and the free media is a constitutional right and the right to information, and so we continue to call them out. Therefore, we call on Kenyans to give information and to know that Justin Muturi and his commission and his commissioners, fellow commissioners, will soon be announcing where to be found so that people can go out there and begin to give real evidence so that we will then take a position with regard even to private prosecution of those who are found culpable. So leo ni kusema tu pole na kwa sababu ya yale ambayo yalitokea jana. It is now enshrined in our country's history that the 25th of June going forward is a day that Kenyans will be looking at as one of those public days that we honor, like Madaraka Day and other days, the day of the Kenyan youth. And as I said yesterday, going forward, it will not be celebrated in infamy of the type we have witnessed, but it will be honored, and the future generations will be very proud that there was once a generation, the Gen Zs, the millennials, who stood up for their right and saying we want our country back, stop stealing our future. And that's all they're doing, and for which now some of them are lying here in hospital. Wenzangu anaweza kuongezea, anasema Fred and Eugene.
Thank you. I've come with my colleagues. First of all, pass our condolences. The families that lost their dear ones yesterday. From the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, we have a figure of 8 people who lost their lives yesterday. From other sources, we're being told 11 Kenyans were killed yesterday. And many of them died as a result of gunshot wounds from the police. And we want to pass our condolences to all the families that lost their dear ones. Yesterday was supposed to be a day of commemoration, marking the anniversary of the day that we lost young people last year, 25th of June. We were not supposed to lose another life yesterday. We were supposed to honor the fallen heroes. We were supposed to commemorate and to mourn with the families that lost last year. And for William Ruto's government to make more families mourn again, to shed more blood on a day of commemoration, to us, this is adding insult to injury. All they were supposed to do was to facilitate the commemoration so that families with friends of these families would honor those who died, but not to kill more. We have also come to wish quick recovery to those who are injured. Quite a number of people are injured across the country. We have seen here quite a number, many of them who have bullet wounds, gunshot wounds. Many of them have undergone operation, they are recovering, and we want to wish them quick recovery. But also, those who are not in Kenyatta National Hospital and other hospitals, wherever you may be, we want to wish you quick recovery, and we pray, our prayers are with you and your families.
Yeah.
Lastly, we want to say to the media, a big thank you. Yesterday, you faced harassment. There's a government that panicked when they saw the numbers of demonstrators growing. And that knee-jerk reaction made them demand that you shut down and have a blackout so that no one sees what was happening in our country. We want to thank you for the courage of standing by the people, of showing the world what was happening in our country today. Many of you had injuries similar. So they're not just those who are lying here, but many journalists had injuries, and today we want to thank you on behalf of many Kenyans who are able to see what was happening where, through your cameras and through your courage. So we thank you for that, but we also demand that this government must respect court orders. The court ordered yesterday that CA had issued an unlawful order And they must respect the court order. They must uphold the rule of law and stop harassing the media, because free media is really the cornerstone of our democracy. So we thank you once more. Asanteni sana.
As Fred